Aloha guys, Scuba Chris here. For years you've been watching me use a Spydro with good success. I've had to adapt it for short casting. It was originally designed for jigging and trolling off a boat. Now, before this, I used to use one of these. This is a water wolf camera. All right, so let me explain what I'm about to do. You know, sometimes when I throw this out, even with the weight system I put onto this, so this will sit on the bottom and it will allow you to cast from shore, and you can hopefully catch the fish that are feeding on your bait. All right, this unit does not weigh much. It weighs roughly 1/4 of an ounce when it's floating down in the water. So you have to attach some type of weight system here so it sinks down, it stays on the bottom. Now it doesn't come with what you need because it wasn't made for that. So that's why I showed you how I modified, adapted to use it the way I want. Now the water wolf was made for that. It was more for freshwater, like for bass, mostly catfishing, but it comes with a 100 gram or 3.5 ounce lead system that contours to the shape of this. So see, I already had put this on. I used some tape to tape it on. And so this thing is extremely heavy. Not only do you have the 3.5 ounces of lead, which looks like this, that's already taped on, but you have the unit weight itself. Whereas the Spydro unit doesn't have that much weight, and whatever weight it has that is from the original, I added it to it. Because this one is lighter and more torpedo shaped, which is it contours to the water as well as the air, I get more distance casting this. This one here is fairly decent shape, but the weight, I mean, when you add the 3.5 right here, added to the weight of the unit, you cannot cast it that far. But the benefit is that this will always land like so, and it will stay the way it's. This is the lead is attached. I just taped it on. You can do it in other ways, but this is a fairly stable unit. Now, this one here is not that stable. That's why I'm still perfecting this one. See in the back of the water wolf? That's the diagram, what it's going to show like when these two sections of lead weight are attached. But to bring this in is expensive. I mean, because I think I paid like $35 to bring it in the mail. And it's from the somewhere in Europe. It's not from the US, so it costs a lot. So one of the ongoing problems I'm still having is that once in a while, when I toss this out, I'm from the shoreline, tossing it out to open ocean, which means towards the waves. So when this hits, when it's in the air, I'm touching the spool, so it will keep the line straight. So when it comes down, it's not going to come down, boom, one time and get all tangled. It's going to come back slowly, keep everything planed out. So this way, hopefully, the leader line's in the front. So if I'm tossing it to the waves, what's going to happen is that the surge and the waves of the waves coming in is going to bring the leader line back, and sometimes it'll get caught around this or go over it. I've had that problem a lot where something is eating it or attacking it, and it's in the back of the camera. The camera is going around the place. You get a ch-ch-ch, but you can't see what's doing it. So I go back to my water wolf camera, which I was able to capture some jacks and barracudas in the process of feeding, and I realized they have a through wire right here that's incorporated through the mount of the unit. So I figure, why don't I do something like this for this? At Walmart, they have a wired leader over here, okay, with your swivels at the end, and it was like 200-pound test leader for, I think it was $12. The problem is they only take 3 wraps at the end, and you can just go like that and just yank it loose. So I prefer to make my own. So I went to POP, which is Pacific Ocean Producers here in Oahu, Hawaii, and I bought some of this stainless steel wire leader. It's 325, yeah, rated for 325-pound test. And I brought some French clips. These are rated for 200 pounds. Not an overkill because, we got a lot of structure here like reef, or it can be like postings from a pier. So you kind of want to go a little bit heavier, all right? So off of this, I'm gonna cut off a section of wire. See, that might do it, but this is pretty thick. Use the good one from Mustad here. This should do it. Okay, that should be enough. Perfect. Just don't have to be fancy. Just grab it like that. Okay. And just pick a, I think you call it a haywire twist. So you're gonna start it up. This is a lot easier with the 200-pound, but I went with the 325. You know, of course, having the proper tools would have been nice, but I seem to be doing it okay with just 2 pliers. This is a 325. If I went down to the lower rated wire, this would be a lot easier. Well, one side is done. This is a 200-pound French clip, 325-pound test stainless steel wire. One side is done. I'll do the other side. Good enough. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it works. All right. May not be the prettiest. Got it done though. So this is what it's going to look like. Got my lead system here. See that? Toss it out. Instead of monofilament and the swell action or the surge brings the line back, you know, back and forth or across. This is going to relatively stay out where it should be, and that's it. That's the way it's going to look. And I'm just going to put a couple inch monoliter on this. Give this a try. But this is the improvement I want to do, because the people Water Wolf already kind of saw that problem, because theirs was meant to sit on the bottom. This wasn't. So taking this into consideration, they just have a through wire going through the base. I just clipped this and added it on, as you can see here. Right? So give this a try. Thanks.